Well, let's be honest, the frigid temps have probably gotten us daydreaming about making a great escape from KELOLAND. How does a trip to the Phoenix, Arizona area sound where it's 83 degrees right now? Or how would you like to arrive in our nation's capital at the peak of the cherry blossom bloom? Well, both are possible destinations for you this spring, and here to tell us more about how you can get yourself a seat is Connie Vanderpool with Southwest Tour and Travel. And Connie, thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me back. It's good to be back.
Well, let's talk about Southwest Tour and Travel and exactly what it is you guys do, and then we can get into some of the trips you're taking.
Well, Southwest Tour and Travel is a full-service travel agency. We do all kinds of tours, but we specialize in motor coach tours. Been around for over 40 years, doing it a long time. We write our own tours, we send escorts along, but we also do airline packages and things so that we can put the airline with it. We have that on some of our tours, like on New York City. So we're full service, but our motor coach tours are great, and they're a great way to go. You just call up and get signed up, and it's kind of a carefree way to travel. Yeah, so
I remember going on trips like this when I was in high school, where you did church retreats or school. We had our choir, high school choir, took a trip somewhere once, and you're on the bus forever. Spring break in college, you just drive straight through. So tell me, do you take the trips like that, where it's like if the destination is Arizona, it's like, okay, we're going to get on the bus and just pound it straight through for 20 hours, or what?
No, we don't, and it's funny because we take trips for the students and things as well, because our coaches transport them as well. But our motor coach tours are way different. Basically, you get on the coach and everybody gets their name tag, and you kind of start introducing. We travel a couple hours, take a break. Then we travel a couple hours, we eat. There's never a lack of food on our tours.
Of course.
And then you get back on the bus, and maybe you just have some quiet time to watch a movie or something like that to help the time pass. Our tour directors basically play games. We play bingo and have some prizes, and then usually we're in our hotel by 5, 6 o'clock, so you've got some time, and maybe we'll have a lounge at the hotel. So maybe you want to get together and have a few cocktails with your friends, or playing card games is a great way to pass the time in the evening. So a lot of times people will play card games with their friends or their newfound friends.
So let's talk about you mentioned movies on the bus. So now the technology. I mean, you're able to have DVD players, satellite, all those types of Wi-Fi, all those things. Is that all part of your coaches?
Yes, we've got one coach that it's fairly new. It's 2017 that we just purchased. That's got the plugins, so you can charge your electronic devices. We have the Wi-Fi on there. We've got the DVD players. So basically, it's all on there to help you pass your time, and it's your vacation, we like to say. So you can do as much or as little as you like.
Sure. Well, let's get to the trips. Arizona sounds really good to me today.
Oh, doesn't it? 83 degrees?
Yeah, let's talk about that one first. So the details of that's coming up here.
Okay. Well, our Arizona tour is March 9th through the 22nd, a 14-day tour. And some of those highlights, we have the Garden of the Gods, which is one of the most photographed spots in the U.S. Sandia Peak Aerial Tramway, which you go way up and get to see the sights from a long way off. We've got the Petrified Forest National Park with all those vibrant colors of that petrified wood. Sunset Crater Volcanic Monument, which is basically a volcano that erupted 900 years ago and changed the landscape. Grand Canyon, and if you've ever been there, that's just beautiful. The Verde Canyon Railroad, which is a 20-mile train excursion. Montezuma's Castle, which is a national monument, and it's got some of the best preserved cliff dwellings in North America. And then we go to Phoenix. We're actually there for 4 nights. We've got some guided tours of the area, but we also have some free time because a lot of people have some snowbirds down there that they'd like to get together with, maybe talk a little bit about some of the old times, go out for dinner. And then in Mesa, Arizona, we do the Desert Belle Boat Cruise. So lots of things. And then on the way home, we do a stop at the Great Platte River Road Archway in Nebraska.
Yeah, I was going to say that looked like Kearney, Nebraska.
Yep,
that
that's
didn't look
where it
like
was.
Arizona. So
yeah, that's the way home.
No, that's a lot.
We put a lot in there. Yes.
All right, let's talk about the One Nations tour in Washington, D.C. in that area. So that's later on in March.
That is in March 26th through April 8th. And I like to say that's like a bucket list tour because I think everybody should do this tour. Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. And if you've ever been out there, you know that you don't want to drive out there. So it's a great way to go by motor coach. Some of the sites we see in the area, Gettysburg National Cemetery and Battlefield, which it just brings that history to life for you. When you go to that battlefield, you can see how it all happened. Mount Vernon, which is originally a 1.5-story farmhouse, and talk about remodeling. It took Washington 45 years to get that up to snuff. In Washington, D.C., we've got sightseeing with a local guide, the U.S. Capitol, Library of Congress, Supreme Court, Museum of the Bible, Holocaust Museum, Arlington National Cemetery. D.C., we do a lighted tour, Air Force Memorial, the Pentagon, the Washington 911 Memorial, and the memorials of Jefferson, Korean, and Vietnam memorials. The Kennedy Center, the Basilica of the National Shrine of Conception, and then we have some free time, so you can go to the Smithsonian's. And then we head over to New York City, and we do all the touring there. We like to get step-on guides when we go to those areas, so those people really know the area. So we get them on the coach, and they tell you all about the area. We go to Chinatown. We go to Little Italy, have a meal there. We do Ellis Island. And did you know that 1 in 25 Americans had a relative that came through Ellis Island?
I never heard that stat. Wow.
Yeah, and you know, they've got computers there that you can put your names in and do some history, but if you had people come over. The Statue of Liberty, we stay right downtown. So it's a real treat to get to go to New York City.
And you're right, taking that trip out east is tough. I mean, I'm with you. I'd rather have somebody just telling me where to go and let somebody else do the driving, and I have to mess with that.
Well, and you know, when you drive, you can't look around. You know, you can't see the sightseeing and things like that. So we've got big windows on those coaches. Our drivers are driving and taking you there. So.
And you recommend that one is maybe, you know, if you're younger, because there's a lot of walking when you're, especially in the D.C. area. There's so many things to see that are really close together that you have to walk. So.
Well, D.C. and New York City too, because we do have some free time, you know, where you can do a Broadway play, and we stay right downtown, so you can walk around and get the feel of being a New Yorker. But yes, I like to say that that's a trip that you should do early in your traveling career. You know, basically when you're first retired and you've got some time, do that as one of your first trips. But it really is a bucket list trip.
Right. So let's talk about how people can get in contact with you and get on these trips if they're interested.
Well, and you can always call our office toll-free at 800-669-1309. We're there Monday through Friday. Check out our website at www.swtourandtravel.com, because I've got some great videos of these tours on there too. And just give us a call, because we love to talk travel.
I bet. Fun. It just sounds a lot of fun right now. So, Connie, thanks for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me.
A lot of good information. So when we return, I guess I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite big game appetizers. So stay with us.